Good morning. Welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Virtual Church. My name is Tom Burns, and I'm glad we can get together, even though we can't actually be together. Today, our minister, Reverend Jeff Greer, tells us how he would respond to the statement, "I am spiritual, but not religious." To accompany the lighting of our chalice, I bring you the words of John Burroughs, who says, "The lesson which life repeats and constantly enforces is, look underfoot." You are always nearer to the divine and the true sources of your power than you think. The lure of the distant and the difficult is deceptive. The great opportunity is where you are. Do not despise your own place and hour. Every place is under the stars. Every place is the center of the world. We all have different reasons for gathering here each week, but we have this much in common. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. For music today, Gary brings us a song by Holly Near, "I Ain't Afraid."
I ain't afraid of your Yahweh, I ain't afraid of your Allah, I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. I ain't afraid of your churches, I ain't afraid of your temples, I ain't afraid of your praying. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. Rise up to your higher power, free up from fear, it will devour you. Watch out for the ego of the hour. The ones who say they know it are the ones who will impose it on you. I ain't afraid of your Bible, I ain't afraid of your Torah, I ain't afraid of your Quran. Don't let the letter of the law obscure the spirit of your love. I ain't afraid of your music, I ain't afraid of your culture, I ain't afraid of your choices. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. Rise up and hear the higher story, free up from the gods of glory and glory. Watch out for the threats of purgatory. This wind will not make a killing of the sin and Satan. I ain't afraid of your Sabbath, I ain't afraid of your borders, I ain't afraid of your dances. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. I ain't afraid of your Yahweh, I ain't afraid of your Allah, I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God.
We will sing Loving Kindness next. Please light a candle to dispel the darkness, to honor someone or some event, or to bring light to a memory.
my name is Jeff Breer, and I am the minister of this virtual church. I hope you're doing well during this time. Please remember to wear a mask in public, avoid large gatherings of people indoors, and keep your distance from other folks. Living in Northeast Tennessee, I often feel disconnected from my colleagues, and in order to stay connected, I am a member of an online forum with several hundred other Unitarian Universalist ministers. From this forum, as many as 30 messages a day come my way on such topics as church life, pastoral care, worship, roommates for General Assembly, and other ministerial questions. I freely admit to learning an awful lot about ministry by just reading the messages, and I have participated in this forum since 1999. Some time ago, a colleague asked the group how we would respond to the statement, "I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious." Apparently, he was considering his own response to that statement, and he wanted our opinions. So, over a few days, we answered the question, and what's more interesting, we went off on tangents, stimulated by something in the answers. And the ministers I quote here this morning generously allowed me to share their response to "I'm spiritual, but not religious." And after they had their say, I will give you my take on it. Kit Ketchum is retired and lives in Vashon, Washington. She says that religion is our public expression of our relationships with self, others, and the divine. Spirituality, she says, is our private experience of our relationships with self, others, and the divine. Nana Kochoval is retired and lives in Muskegon, Michigan. She believes that you can be spiritual alone. However, to be religious, she says, requires community. So if you want to be in a caring community that explores spiritual issues and that may be able to make a positive difference in the world, then you need to find a faith community. Mary Gans serves the church in Brewster, Massachusetts. She says we come together in worship to attend what is highest and best among us and within us, and to use our attention in the service of transformation. Choosing to worship together is one of the ways we say to one another, we're all in this together. My transformation depends on your transformation and on the transformation of our community. When we make this choice, she says we are religious as well as spiritual. Sydney Wild is co-minister at the church in Chico, California, and she thinks those who are spiritual but not religious are seeking a sense of awe, wonder, purpose, and meaning, and have been turned off by the narrowness of beliefs and practices that characterized the organized religions that they know. She says they do not know that there is another way to be religious. Brent Smith teaches at Grand Valley State University in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he says, when the spiritual but not religious knock on my door, they might be seeking the church of me, that faith community and tradition that I can trust because it projects all that I want and nothing that I don't want. Tom Shade recently resigned his ministry at the church in Worcester, Massachusetts. He believes that spirituality is how people experience religion in a secularized culture, when religion has been dethroned and religious institutions are voluntary. David Bryce serves the church in Belmont, Massachusetts. He wrote that when someone says to me, I'm spiritual but not religious, I take it that they are seeking something that fills their soul but does not require that they sell their soul. I hear them say that they distrust organized religion and feel justified in that distrust, but despite that, they are seeking a place to be. I hear it as a statement of pain and hurt. Tim Jensen is retired, and he wrote, it seems to me that people who claim to be spiritual but not religious are folks who don't want to feel tied down by the rules and the rituals and the discipline of organized religion. But they still wish to be in touch with that higher mystery which gives life its meaning. Keith Goheen is the chaplain at the Beebe Medical Center in Lewes, Delaware. He writes that many of the people he has met who claim to be spiritual but not religious are great consumers of every trendy road to happiness practice available at their nearest spirituality boutique. The demands of church discipline, he says, teach enduring values like trusting in others, sacrifice, and self-restraint. A religious life opens up new vistas for the experience of joy and peace at levels more profound than what is available through non-religious spirituality. Being spiritual, he says, without being religious, frees people from the awkward necessity of being accountable to others. Did you hear that? Let me restate Keith's words, for I think he is right. Being spiritual without being religious frees people from the awkward necessity of being accountable to other people. Ron Robinson lives in Turley, Oklahoma. In our time, he says, church has become a code word for God. People say that they don't like the church or they don't like organized religion, while really meaning they wish to avoid an unpleasant situation with God. Jeff Breer serves the Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church in Gray, Tennessee. Ron's phrase, an unpleasant situation with God, really struck me. Might end up as a sermon title someday, but his words prompted me to reply. And here's what I wrote in a few moments of passion. A religious life which provokes an unpleasant situation with God is not altogether a bad thing. If every time you meet God, you have a good old time and nothing bad ever happens, if every encounter you have with God is pleasant, then I suspect you are meeting with a God of your own design or a divine impersonator. The God I know is more often a pain in the patoot than pleasurable. God is not always convenient, nor on time. The God I know picks the damnedest times to show up, but she shows up when she's needed, and if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be kicked around a little, you can learn something from the encounter, and that's far better than merely being buddies with a good time God. I think that people who are spiritual but not religious are afraid of commitment. Seems to me that religion requires a commitment. I just said the C word, didn't I? Actually, there are a few more C words in religious culture. Communication, cooperation, connection, and there is the biggest, baddest C word of all, covenant. Religion may require you to enter into a covenant. And it's not only religion. Many people are reluctant to commit themselves to anything. There was a time before she had a daughter that my daughter would not make plans too much in advance because something better might be available at the last moment. And if you ask any impresario or producer about reservations, you will learn that audiences do not make advanced reservations for plays or concerts anymore. Most Wall Street investors are not committed to their investments. They only want short-term results. Commitment. But I can hear somebody say, oh, commitment, but what if it doesn't work out? Instead, I suggest this as a better question. How can I make this work out? I see the fear of commitment rooted in a foreshortened sense of time, a sense that things should reach fruition very soon, like in the next 5 minutes. Instant winner, instant rebate, instant messaging, instant gratification. You can even build an instant campfire with creosote logs. Well, it ain't that way in real life. Real life takes time. Real spirituality takes time. Real religion takes time. Life takes its own sweet time, and anything worthwhile will take a long time. I believe a religious life takes a strong commitment of time and talent and treasure, but if you stick with it, you will be richly rewarded. In my opinion, someone who is spiritual but not religious is not committed. And making a commitment, learning from it, working within it, making it work for you and others, understanding in the long run how it makes you the person you want to be, that's the value of being religious and spiritual too. I'm sorry to say that the Center for Disease Control may have become politicized, so I recommend that you consider that when you read or hear their recommendations. Nonetheless, wearing a mask, staying away from people, and avoiding indoor gatherings is, in my opinion, a pretty good idea. And remember what Zig Ziglar said, you can have all you want in this life if you just help other people get what they want.
Rabbi Moselle had his pupils assembled and was teaching them about community and how to build it. He asked his pupils how they could tell when day had begun. One of his students said, "I think it is when you can see an animal in the far field and know that it's a sheep, not a dog." "No," said Rabbi Moselle. "I know," said another student. "It is when you can look at a tree in the far field and know that it is a fig tree and not a peach tree." "No," said Rabbi Moselle. Then all his students spoke at once. "Well, then what is it?" Rabbi Moselle took a moment and looked each of his pupils in the eye. Then he said, "It is when you can look on the face of any man or woman and see your brother or sister, because if you cannot see this, it is still night." Rabbi Moselle tells us to look at everyone we meet as if they are our brother or sister. Our time together is nearly finished, but our work is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenges of the week to come. Please help me close this service now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. My name is Kim, and I'm happy that you could join us for this service. Please come back whenever you like. We will post another virtual church service next Sunday. Please contact the minister or the caring team if you or someone you know needs help during this time. Our services are recorded in advance, so current events may move faster than our ability to address them in a timely fashion. However, you can find up-to-date information on local events, social justice issues, inspiration, and content for all ages on our Facebook page. All members and friends are invited to join the search committee at 12:30 today for search committee cottage meetings on Zoom. If you identify as pagan or Wiccan, or if your faith tradition is earth-based, please join the search committee next Sunday, October 18th at 12:30 for a Zoom focus group which will intentionally include this faith tradition. And last, everyone is invited to attend the Beyond Categorical Thinking Zoom workshop next Saturday, October 17th, and the special service on Sunday the 18th to understand what our blind spots might be and how we can address them. These events require you register to attend, and information about these events is in Congregation News under the News and Events tab on our website, hvuuc.org. To close our service, Wendy brings us a song that was introduced by Jackie DeShannon, What the World Needs Now. As you make your way through the week, remember that you are good, you are loved, we all need a little work, and we're all in this together. Nothing left to say but yay, church.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans, rivers enough to cross, enough to last until the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.